I've been in HBAR for over 5+ years now, and I've seen the highs, I've seen the lows, and I've seen across the board how HBAR as a crypto asset can either make you emotionally or break you in the wrong direction. So in this video, I want to go over my strategy for HBAR and really what the potential lies in for Hedera in this bull run, because there's a lot of good news with Hedera if you haven't seen it recently, combining with Ethereum starting to go, us entering phase 2 in the bull market. But primarily, I want to show you a simple 5-step framework you can use for HBAR if you want to make gains, if you're looking at DCN, and primarily how you can take profits so you don't round trip HBAR like a lot of us did in 2021. Now, real quick, I must make a quick disclaimer here. This video is obviously not financial advice for HBAR. This is just personally what I'm doing. Obviously, HBAR and other altcoins and cryptocurrency is risky and highly volatile, and no results are guaranteed. This is just what I'm typically doing. I've maybe got some affiliate links in the description, meaning I may earn a commission, and this content is, of course, for experienced users only. And if you care to read about it, the full legal disclaimer can be found in the description box below. All right, so let's dive in. Currently, my portfolio has actually just been overtaken by Ethereum because Ethereum at the kind of recording is starting to go crazy. If I refresh this page, I believe Ethereum now is at $4.6 thousand, which is crazy. It's literally overtook my HBAR position by $50,000. But as we know, or as you should know, this is where we'll start to get the money rotation and enter phase 3. So this is very exciting for me. But HBAR for a long time was number 2 on my portfolio. But as you can see, everything across the board, apart from Gala, is starting to look very, very good. So currently, my total profit and loss on HBAR is $194,000, and my average buy is 0.06. So a lot of people are going to be asking about that. We're going to talk about why that is so important. And really what I mean by that is you can buy the same coin, and as you know, you can get a completely different outcome. You know, for example, if I go in HBAR CMC, in CoinMarketCap, you could have bought HBAR in 2020, back in the days, less than 1 cent, if not 1 cent, right? Very, very good. You could have read it up for 50x to 50 cents in 2021's bull market, or you could have bought, maybe halfway during that bull run and bought around 25 cents to get your initial entry in on HBAR, and you would have only made a 2x. Again, a 2x is still good, but compared to buying 6 months, 8 months before that, you've got a 2x to a 50x, or like a lot of people did in 2021, and it's fine to do this as long as you learn from your mistakes, is they bought the 50 cents high and they read it all the way back down, and in 4 to 5 years, they're still at a paper loss. So the results here on any single coin, by the way, can completely, massively different on your DCAs and of course your DCA outs. Again, same coin, completely different outcome. So firstly, I wanted to really talk about, why HBAR. Well, if you've been living under a rock recently, this has been around for 3 weeks now, 2 weeks, give or take. HBAR has just been listed on Robinhood. So congratulations. This is very good because pretty much if you come and look at Robinhood, you can see their monthly visitors is 44 million. Now that doesn't mean everybody's going to start buying HBAR, but it's just another thing that we didn't have in 2021, right? The last month users, 44 million. How much percent of them are going to buy HBAR? Not really the question to ask. It's just another opportunity because especially on Robinhood, you get a lot of like seasoned investors rather than if your coin's listed on Pump.fund, for example. You're not really going to get massive amounts of players compared to a Robinhood, for example. Another thing which is interesting, if you didn't see this was around about 1 month ago tomorrow, which is very exciting. And this is especially big because if you know Lloyds Bank and you're from the UK, these are one of the biggest UK, banks in the whole of the country. And especially with UK being so against crypto, like they were in 2021, they're getting a little bit better right now. And this news is only going to be, evident for where hopefully the UK do take cryptocurrency. They take cryptocurrency in the bad way from tax, but, they're trying to get as much money from possible because they understand a lot of us, general people, want to try to transform our lives, right? They understand the traditional path isn't going to be there, so they're trying to make a lot of money with tax. Is what it is, not here to talk about tax, but it's so far, news like this 1 month ago that the UK are starting to, at least, except from Lloyds, they're starting to bet big on cryptocurrency. But why is this so important with HBAR? Well, Lloyds are now using, as you can see here, the Hedera Hashgraph network to trade foreign money with digital versions of real assets. Now, the UK trades trillions, not billions, not millions, trillions every day. And this partnership with Lloyds and Hedera Hashgraph can handle real-world utility. So they chose Hedera Hashgraph for a reason. They didn't choose Solana, they didn't choose the Ethereum network because it's way too slow. So this is very, very good, especially as we lead into the next kind of 2 phases of this bull market. And obviously with HBAR making this a nice bet for us if we are riding this coin right now. So that's very, very good. Very, very good stuff to talk about there. Because as a reminder on HBAR itself and how fast we get news like this, the beautiful thing with coins like Hedera Hashgraph, they might not do well in the bear market, but that's where you want to build up your place. But the beautiful combination of this 2025 bull run plus some of these news articles, a reminder here, this was November 5th to December 3rd, 2024, when we had some good news with Donald Trump in the election and some other HBAR news. HBAR really runs, man. A lot of people think HBAR doesn't really move, but in 1 month, HBAR went from 4 cents to 39 cents. That's an 875% gain in 28 days, beating most other top coins in the market. E.g., when HBAR runs, it really does run hard. All right, so here's a couple more reasons why I'm betting big with over pretty much 260 grand of HBAR in my positions, and then we'll talk about that magical number, how much I think 1,000 HBAR is going to be worth. So again, I am betting big. I show you the proof in the pudding, and there's a couple of more reasons which I think are very, very exciting. So number one, stablecoin boom. Hedera now has over $212 million in USDC. And that pretty much means Stablecoin Studio lets banks create safe, low digital fee dollars. And of course, we've just went over the news there with Lloyds. This is great for DeFi, and this is great for locking up liquidity, which makes more people come to Hedera. Combined with the bull market is only going to, in my opinion, I'm not promising anything, but this is why I'm betting big on HBAR, is only going to create more of a price action later on in this 2025 bull run. Reason number two is obviously people can buy more HBAR, right? So HBAR is now on Robinhood, making it easy for literally, like we said, 44 million people just being access if they only use Robinhood. Because we have a lot of people that just say, well, I only use Robinhood, I don't want to buy HBAR. Well, now you can. Stuff like this we didn't have in 2021 and especially 2020 when you could have bought HBAR at 1 cent. Reason three is big institutions are now using it. This is the first tokenized forex trade in the UK happened to Hedera. ETF funds may launch soon, and Switzerland is already staking an ETF for HBAR. And here's some other points, and by the way, that's enough for me. Like, we didn't have most of this stuff when I was buying HBAR in 2020, but this is just Brucey bonuses, which in my opinion are so bullish for this coin. Number one is big money backs HBAR. On July 8th, 2025, Grayscale, yes, Grayscale swapped out Polkadot for HBAR. So they said, F you Polkadot, we're going to now go into HBAR. Not a diss against Polkadot. I haven't really bought it. I've never looked into it that much, but a lot of people did swap from Polkadot to other coins because it hasn't performed that well this bull run. Doesn't mean it can't perform in the future. If you are a Polkadot holder, you're probably going to make some money because the bull run will come and most coins will go, especially coins like Polkadot. But regardless of that, they swapped this for HBAR in its main fund, and this means big investors believe in HBAR for the long scale. And again, that is Grayscale, not some average person that is just investing a couple $100. This is Grayscale. So number two, like we talked about before, it's easier to buy. Crypto.com added USDC and HBAR very recently, so you can buy HBAR from Crypto.com. And Kraken is also, I think in the last 3 to 4 weeks, has now listed HBAR. Kraken's one of the big exchanges I use, especially I'm going to be using for cashing out. And that lets a lot of European investors with safe storage and staking. So again, top exchanges, we're not talking about low-level exchanges here. So we've got the Robinhood capturing more traditional investors, and now we've got two big exchanges that have recently listed HBAR, which is fantastic. Number three is central banks token tests. So Australia's Reserve Bank is now using Hedera to test things like digital real estate and bonds, instant bank-to-bank payments, and they're only doing this because it's fast and super cheap. They're not going to do this in Ethereum, not yet anyways, because it's nowhere near scalable. Smart contracts, government payouts, and this could be the model for the future of money. Number four is AI that can be trusted. Equity Labs, Intel, and NVIDIA are now using HBAR to recover every AI calculation so results can be checked and trusted. Very good there. Number five, government use. Agriculture and others are already using Hedera for public services like IDs and land records in real life, not just tests. To summarize this, the bottom line, HBAR is quietly building finance in private. AI, government, they're not chasing hype, they're creating real-world systems that could last for decades. So other things that are great for HBAR and really any top altcoin, and especially lower cap altcoins as we progress into this cycle. Number one, BTC dominance is dropping in real time. We're now at 59.5%, which is very good. So we're well and truly in the 60% range, which is great. Again, this could change by the time I post this video, but currently right now, we're in this 59%. And again, why that's very good is because we have just entered this blue zone territory. So in the gray zone, really Bitcoin is key, or you're really stacking up your top altcoins at this kind of stage because, Bitcoin is daddy. But as we progress into this blue zone, guess what? Ethereum starts to move. And then as we get into this green zone, coins like HBAR, coins like, BNB and those kind of top coins start to move. And as we progress into the yellow and red zone, that's where everything is pretty much going. Historically, again, it's not guaranteed, but it's just typically what we know. Now, speaking of this, I like this kind of tweet here by Mark. Bitcoin dominance is dropping, ETH is skyrocketing, anybody else's budget looking like this right now. So again, talking about Ethereum, At the time of recording, this was yesterday's screenshot when I was making this video. Boom, it just jumped $400 in a day. And that might sound like nothing, but give or take in the last 1 day or so, that is a lot of money. That's 522 billion all the way up to 558 $8 billion. That's $30 billion plus just in Ethereum. And this is absolutely massive. Ethereum's really starting to go 53% in the last month for number 2 altcoin, number 1 altcoin, obviously, outside of Bitcoin, which is not an altcoin. And again, if we compare this to the Ethereum/Bitcoin chart, which is something I'm looking at very religiously, this is looking very, very bullish. So again, we've came out this kind of circle that I drew, I think not too long ago, like 2 weeks ago. Again, we're a long way off of the August 2021, so that's really where we want to be compared to Bitcoin. And again, once Ethereum breaks that 4.9K, why is 4.9K very, very important? Because that was the price, or that was the 2021's peak price of Ethereum. If we can break that high, it really is game on in my opinion. So going back to the path to alt season by Secret Cycles of Crypto, in my opinion, we're obviously now well and truly in phase 2, right? This is when Ethereum starts to dominate. Again, Bitcoin can still go up and Bitcoin will still go up, but a lot of money in real time. Again, in the last 1 day when I was scripting out this video, Ethereum's went up $400, $30 billion, which is very, very good. And this is going to transition to phase 3, which could be around the corner. Not right now, but it could be around the corner very, very soon, and it will happen. And that is when coins like Hedera and most other top altcoins in the market caps are really going to start running. Now, an interesting chart that not a lot of people talk about is looking at HBAR versus Bitcoin. Now, as we can see, HBAR/Bitcoin, there's some early signs of life here, right? So we've just had some good green confirmation. We're kind of bouncing right now, which is absolutely great. And again, when Bitcoin was flying in 2021's run, remember, Bitcoin was going up against USD, and obviously HBAR was going up against USD because it was the bull run. But we could really see HBAR start to outperform Bitcoin, which is obviously what we want to happen, because Bitcoin will go up, but altcoins outperforming Bitcoin is where you make most of the money. And like I said, now again, we're getting early signs of this. Again, Ethereum needs to keep outperforming Bitcoin and really break that 4.9K. And then I just think you're going to just see massive, massive green candles against HBAR/Bitcoin, and especially HBAR/ the USD chart. Other good news is DeFi Llama. So again, great signs. You can come on DeFiLlama.com. I like to use this a lot. And you can see HBAR's DeFi, volume is starting to go up on chain from June, about 60 or so million, 70 or so million, to over 120 million right now. That's pretty much a 2x, which is a great sign because the future price action usually relates to this a little bit later on. So once TVL starts to come up, price usually reflects this, because again, if you look at the TVL in March and you look at the TVL in November, December, when HBAR was really going up, you could really see TVL start to go up, and then guess what? Price started to follow and reflect this, and they pumped crazy. Now again, if you are interested in doing some DeFi liquidity, I found a pool here literally the other day. It's paying very, very good. And again, full transparency, I'm not in this, but again, if you have some HBAR and you want to explore DeFi liquidity pools like we do, you can start using DeFi to accumulate more HBAR. Okay, this is a very effective pool. It's obviously on Uniswap, so it's one of the most decentralized and trusted exchanges, with literally hundreds of millions of people using this every single month, and hundreds of millions of dollars plus. And this is against a wrapped Ethereum and HBAR, which is a wrapped version of HBAR. Again, this is growing, which is good, and they're actually paying, like I said, pretty good right now, and it's on Uniswap, which of course, again, I'll say again, because I love them from trust. It's not just on some random exchange or some random decentralized application. It looks very, very good, and you can really see the volume start to go, and the TVL is very consistent right now. Because again, we do this every single day. We've talked about this before. There's a guy here making 4K a day, which is crazy. He does have a lot of money in this, and we've also got Brock here using a DeFi liquidity pool on wrapped Ethereum and wrapped XRP, and he's making about 4K a week, 16K a month. Super, super good if you want to accumulate more coins. Maybe you don't have any dollar value to invest. Maybe you've done all your DCM, but you can use DeFi liquidity pools to get more coins or to get more passive income, to accumulate more coins for the bull run. E.g., if you're accumulating HBAR today at 25, 26 cents, well, if HBAR goes to 70, 80, $1 plus, it's almost like all the free coins you're earning today now also 4x's. So again, for me personally, we use this a lot. It's all about how many coins you can accumulate to then sell for the dollar value. And again, if you are interested in joining this group, we have 99 members. So maybe you want to be the 100 member. There might be a little surprise for you guys as we grow this community. You can book a free call. First link in description. Again, there's no hard sell here. It's a completely free call with me or one of my guys. I will just show you how this works. And if you don't want to join, that's absolutely fine. But we at least want to get this out there to people that have coins, that have cryptocurrency already, to use DeFi pools to get more coins and really make their bull run way better than what they thought. So again, free call, check it out if you want. If not, absolutely fine. All right, let's talk about the question. 1,000 HBAR, what's it going to be worth in 2025, early 2026? When this bull run finishes? And really, it's going to determine 3 things in my opinion. That is, number one, how high can Bitcoin go? Because yes, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at this, Bitcoin does control the market, okay? Number two is obviously how far can Ethereum go? And number three, a little caveat, how far can Solana go? And if we can understand that question, we're going to get a completely different outcome for whatever we believe HBAR can go. So again, assuming this bull run, again, my basic price targets, I do think Bitcoin does go to $150,000. It will probably beat that. It's only $30,000 off that. It might sound like a lot, but we're still early. It's just August right now, so it's still early days. If Ethereum can hit 8K plus, obviously we're then going to get this money rotation into phase 3 and phase 4. Big use cases coins like HBAR will get that initial money flow, and I believe strongly HBAR does beat the 2021 bull run of 50 cents. I mean, HBAR right now is less than a 2x of its 2021 bull run, so I think that is quite reasonable case. I think bear case, 80 or so cents. Medium case, $1. Bull case, anything above $1, but really you want to be selling out before that, in my opinion. So again, basic maths. If you had 1,000 coins today, it's going to cost you, give or take, around about $250. Again, that's today's prices, and that'll give you about $1,000. Not great, it's not much, but it's a 4x. But the difference is, if you were to buy HBAR back at 3 cents with $256 and sell at 1, you now take the $1,000 and you get an 8x. So again, it just goes back to what I said at the start of this video. The DCA price, you get a completely different outcome. For example, in my portfolio, my average is like 6 cents, just under 7 cents. But if I was to put that same amount of money in today's prices, yes, I believe I'll still make money. If that's $1, 80 cents, whenever you want to take profits. But buying at 6 cents, again, you get a lot more coins. And that's why I think DeFi liquidity pools is something you can do to really play catch up if you want to maximize your bull run. So again, I think HBAR is going to go to $1. I think bear case should be 80 cents. Absolute worst case in my scenario is obviously beating the 2021 bull run. Of course, HBAR cannot do well and it goes to 0, but I don't think that is going to happen from what we've talked about in this video with all these big companies, especially Lloyds Bank, especially Robinhood listing HBAR. I can't tell you if HBAR is going to survive to 2030, 2040, but I do think it's going to be inevitable. But what I can tell you is this bull run isn't going anywhere for a long time soon. The prices are only going to get higher. So again, you have to decide if HBAR makes sense for you. If you believe the $1, if you believe the $4 is going to happen, I would really execute caution there, because that might make you round trip, and that's what you want to do. But I think it's pretty realistic to say HBAR does do that. Again, use DeFi pools if you can. If you don't know how to do that, book a free call. But primarily, really understand your profit-taking strategies when you go back on a coin like HBAR. Well, where has it historically been, okay? Do I want to take profits, initial profits, maybe 20% out, kind of like the local tops of 2021? Do I want to scale the next chunk out at maybe 75 cents? Maybe I take 60% out at 89 cents, whatever. And even if HBAR just start to round trip, well, you've already took out 60%, and regardless of what price you enter, you still make money, right? Obviously, the 100% out, if you think HBAR is going to hit $1, but if it hits 95 cents, you completely risk round trip in your bag. So just keep that in mind. I think HBAR is really built for the future. It's especially built for this bull run, what we went over today. I would love to know your thoughts on if you hold HBAR and what you think HBAR can potentially do for your bull run. Peace and take care, guys. God bless.